It's still out. For God's sakes.
That's the whole point.
Oh, just. All right. Ready?
We're ready.
Treetop Flies. It's a pleasure to meet you. Great venue here. Looking forward to it tonight.
Yeah, it's really good fun. Yeah, I've been in before with some gigs, so it's good to actually kind of play on the stage rather than watch it.
Who'd you see?
Charles Bradley.
Yeah, Charles Bradley. If you're really good, it was really good.
Gold Heart Assembly a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, hat-trick.
It's got a sprung wooden floor.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, I enjoyed myself every time. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to this, obviously. Glastonbury Emerging Talent winners, great accolade. The Subways won it a few years back. They just played our 10th birthday party. Fantastic. Are you going to play our 15th?
Definitely, yeah. Really.
If we're all alive still.
Yeah? Why? What's going to happen?
If we knew that, we'd definitely be alright.
In 5 years? Death plans?
Yeah,
5 years?
I think 5 years, alright.
Yeah.
6 maybe go 5 years.
20th might be a struggle then.
Yeah. Well, it'd be probably one less member, but we'll try it at 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm planning to combust at 35.
It's always a good story though, when someone goes, in a way. The Mountain Moves, just seeing you there, signing a few CDs. What is it all about? How would you describe that album?
Laurie, you can have this one.
I think basically it's been together for a few years, so it's a combination of everything we've kind of done over the 4 years, and from earlier stuff to newer stuff, and it's just at a moment in time it was a good sort of representation of where we were and kind of what we wanted to put out basically. So yeah, it's just hard work basically, just went into it and finally got it out, which is great, and people seem to like it, so that's half the battle done really.
We recorded that one out in California with one of our favourite producers, a guy called Noah Georgeson, and we did it on top of a canyon as well. Laurie kind of thought the name for that one because we had a storm, and there was a canyon opposite with all the branches kind of waving at us. We don't know if it was the drugs or it was the wind, and that's part of it as well.
Is there like a message behind the album, the whole thing?
Buy it. Buy Treetop Flyers.
It's not really a concept album. It's just a combination of a lot of work, a lot of honing of the songs over time, figuring out how we work together as a group of musicians live, and songs like Haunted House, which are quite long, it's just us sort of developing as a group.
Hopefully it was the best we could have been sort of at that moment,
Are you already thinking about the second album?
Yeah.
Lots.
Got a lot of, how much is written so
A lot.
far?
Yeah,
We've got a list of 12 songs which we're sort of trying to focus on at the moment. There's a lot more beyond that. We're just focusing on 12 until they're done, and then we'll move on to the rest. So there's a lot of ideas out there.
Any name?
For any of the songs?
Is it all
No,
about
for the album.
Oh, no, nothing like that.
Great
It's all
hits.
Working title.
the best of?
Never know. Smiths did it after 6 months, apparently. Things will change. Great video. What's the idea and how did it come about? Yeah. I mean, that's how I have to admit, that's the first
Did you hear that?
insight
That was
I got.
It was like, is that our video, the spinny one?
Yeah, about it was
That's
a great
not sure
idea.
it's the one.
You know.
That's
Just checking, yeah.
The one that Mumford and Sons ripped off.
I was going to say
months
something.
later. We have a couple of friends who we met through Lloyd, who make videos for sort of a living, and we've done stuff with them before. We did a live version of Things Will Change ages ago, which we filmed upstairs at the pub, and we've just always been really friendly with these guys, and they wanted to do the video, and they came up with the concept, and it was just something we all sort of were into. We spent the day in London going around from one place to the next in freezing cold. Just
But trying to make a video that has kind of a good concept when you've got absolutely no money as well.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's not
very
easy.
good.
Really.
I'm sure a lot of amazing videos have been done that way, and I don't know if ours is amazing, but that was a big factor of having no money.
Yeah, but it looks like it
Yeah,
costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Well,
a little trade secret, they accidentally had the camera on the wrong setting.
So we want to tell this.
Yeah, it's fine. So the reason why it looks like it's in this kind of border is because of that. So they had to do that in order to, but it actually made the video better.
so it's like a
It's
personal
like a
mistake.
portrait. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I mean,
actually-
I thought that was part of the concept.
No, it actually
Oh,
improved,
no.
but it was kind of a mistake. But it was
Oh, definitely
one of those
made it
lucky
better.
mistakes.
Lucky once we got away with it.
How does the songwriting process work then in the whole band?
We all write, so it's kind of, you know, someone could bring an idea in and it can be fully formed or just like a chorus or a verse or whatever. And, you know, we always kind of say, it's never like a Treetop song till everyone kind of puts their bit on it, you know. You have to go in with a strong idea of what you want to sound like and have a base to start, but, you know, it does change, everyone's styles are different, and yeah, and I think that's how it works pretty well, you know, it seems to work. And
We all get together as and when we can. Sometimes it'll be, you know, reading sound, getting together in the afternoon, or sometimes it'll be, you know, 3 or 4, or even the whole group of us. You know, sometimes it'll be at someone's house with a couple of acoustic guitars. Other times it's all of us in the rehearsal space, you know, with amps and drums, and things just get worked on, you know, as we sort of feel it, I suppose, you know.
Me and Tom are getting together for a quick game of tennis, get a few oldies.
Who's better?
Sam.
Sam's actually really good at pool.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
depending on how bad the other person is. But if you get beaten by me, you've got to really ask some pretty searching questions.
Who's around now, musically, that you look forward to listening? Or
Jonathan
dancing
Wilson.
on?
Well, you've had before me there.
Sorry, say that again.
You can say it. It's
Jonathan Wilson.
Ah.
I think the new Midlake album is
Yeah,
pretty
it's really
decent.
good.
What's that girl? God damn it.
Oh, she's not
Foster.
Oh,
Joe. Well,
easy.
come on. Sorry. Come
No,
on.
there's a woman called Josephine Foster, but she's had
Oh.
like 12 albums out, but her new one is just insane. Like,
There's one song.
but, you know, I think there's a lot of good music coming out again, you know. Like, even
Mm.
on Loose there's a lot of stuff like Daniel and Champs and stuff. You know, there's a lot of good stuff that is actually coming out again. And, you know, if you actually are a big fan of music, you can actually find some good stuff like that's not in the mainstream, because a lot of that
Yeah.
stuff, in my opinion, is not very good. It's just kind of whatever it is. And if
Throw
you're a
it
fan,
out.
you need to dig deeper to kind of like find what you actually
You don't need to dig that deep though.
No, it's just open
Just
the
know
doors.
where not to look.
But yeah, Treetop Flies though, as let's say mainstream, would you like to go to the mainstream, or best to be on this sort of undercurrent bubbling on the under the surface, just there, which everyone knows you,
Laurie.
but just not boom, because when you go to the mainstream sometimes
You can't predict.
It's just
you
one
can't
way,
plan
yeah.
for these kinds of things, really.
You know, obviously it would be a nice thing to do, but I think it has to feel right to be like honest. You know, wouldn't never do anything stupid and fake to get there. But
no.
you know, but it's, you know, obviously we like to make a living out of it, and that's basically kind of if we can do that and tour and keep making records, then that's I'm happy with that.
You
You know?
probably have to dance with that idea a little bit, but we've never really had the opportunity to kind of make. The devil's never been open for business with us. Yeah, so I'm sure.
So we haven't
Yeah,
been to
not
the
yet.
crossroads just yet.
Yeah.
And knocked on the door, yeah. But how would you describe your music then, yourselves?
You know, like we say it's country soul, you know, and there's a big element of that in it. You know, we love our country and our soul, and you know, people get scared of the word country and think, you know, oh, Taylor Swift and all that stuff. But country is an amazing style of music. If you hear the right stuff, it's incredible, and it always has been. You know, so we kind of mix that with soul, and rock and roll, and you know, we all kind of like different stuff. So there's no particular style we kind of go out to be, but once we're together in the room, you know.
So who brings in what in the band, let's say?
Laurie's a massive fan of Black Sabbath.
Yee.
Which is
Yeah,
great.
someone has to be.
Yeah,
No,
which is
no,
great.
Oh!
You know, yeah, we all like different stuff. You know, we work as a core, which we all like. Obviously, other people like different stuff. I'm a huge fan of dub reggae and stuff like that, and soul and stuff. And everyone likes their own little pockets of stuff.
We all influence each other with the kind of things. But always, if one of us gets into some new music, it's a bit like kind of some kind of infection that spreads through the band.
Charcoal, smoky voice. You know, was it always like that?
That's him.
What? Nah, that's just a part of the infection.
Voices, harmonies, the whole thing. You know, the harmonies of the band, of what you know, it just comes together so well. Was it literally like that from the start?
No, there's times where it's like, Jesus Christ, that sounds horrible. But you know, you have to work on it. You know, when you're playing, you have to rehearse. You can't just get to go on stage and be great. You've got to put a lot of effort and work into it. And you know, singing harmonies is a hard thing because if you're off, it just can sound pretty disgusting.
Do you know that Spinal Tap scene where they go to Elvis's grave and they're singing and he's like, no,
Yeah.
I get so There is an element of that, but sometimes you just lock in and it just comes naturally. but you have to be organised a little bit with the harmonies.
Yeah, but-
Tonight we'll find out.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I
Looking
think
forward
it's
to
quite
It helps when
organised.
people stick to their parts.
Yeah.
it. How did the name come about?
Oh, that's not an issue.
Sam.
No. Oh, I don't want to do it. You can do it.
Basically, you know, trying to, I'm going to get cussed now, it's fine. Basically, just trying to figure band names is always a weird thing, and it's, you know, like, we had a lot of awful ones.
Oh, God, sir. We had a lot of bad names.
So Sam basically wanted the band to be called Electric Cat.
It was a joke name.
It wasn't a joke name.
Cool.
Joe May wanted it to be called the
Yeah,
Elk,
yeah.
the Elk Society.
No, it was the Elks.
No, it was the Elk
Which
Society.
is the Elks.
Fucking Portland.
I didn't put this aside.
So,
Joe May was having a filtered latte chino. And he came up with that one. Oh my God, I've got the screen through cover.
I'm sure that's...
so trying to find it, it was basically Sam was like, heard the song by Stephen Stills and,
I didn't even hear the song.
alright,
Well, I did a bit. I heard a rap from Stephen Stills.
should have answered in the first place, can't
Yeah, take over. Thank you for that, Rick. Nice socks, sorry.
Thanks.
Wow. Let me see now. Jesus. No, Stephen Stills wrote a song called Treetop Flyers about, sort of based on pilots who came back from the Vietnam War. And they had skills for like flying low and all of that stuff. What? What was that?
Nothing, carry on.
Anyway, so they had all these skills that they had
I'll let that one slide. Go on, carry on.
sorry about that.
Carry on. You do know what's coming.
Answer the question.
Yeah, no, anyway. So no, they did like loads of drug running and other things. But the whole thing was about being we're even now. Being that part of a group of outsiders, as it were, not the head.
You are now.
Yeah, no, the name's alright, isn't it? But you know.
I know, it's a fantastic name. But you know, Teenage Fan Club, The Lars, Neil Young, which other bands would you like? I don't know, reminds me a little bit of those sort of bands. Which other names would you like, you know, in a review or to be positioned with?
Good ones.
Nah, I'm a huge fan of the Coral. I think the Coral are one of the
Great
best
band.
bands of the last 10 years and
Yeah.
really underrated for
Very
what they did.
underrated.
Definitely.
Absolute roots and echoes.
You know, like, you know,
And massive harmonies as well.
Yeah, it's great, just great players. Like, My Mum and Jacket are really good at doing this kind of stuff. They rock out a bit more than we do, but you know, Jonathan Wilson who said, well, there's loads of good bands coming out. This, you know, and obviously to be compared to bands we really love, like Neil Young and stuff, is pretty cool. You know, that's a good.
Seen him live?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We've seen him a few
He's
Many
times.
unbelievable, isn't he?
He's good.
It's insane.
Saw him in
Yes.
a cave the other day, and that was the best gig I've ever been to.
Yeah?
I think so. I'm a stupidly large Neil Young fan.
Stupid.
It's just stupidly large. I'm an XL.
I enjoy it. Visions for the future.
None.
Treetop Flyers. Death.
Doesn't happen.
Apart from that, no.
Tomorrow morning, wake up, feel shit, get in the van. That's about it.
Yeah, I think it's just to make more albums, you know, keep doing it and, you know, just keep increasing, like, people coming to watch us and, you know, and us obviously experimenting, doing different things with our sound and, you know, just going a bit crazy in bits and whatever, but just keep going really, you know, just kind of, we've come this far doing it for our own back and, you know, getting help along the way and you're not going to give up now.
Yeah, and the second album, is there any different direction or similar sort of style, or we?
It's hard to tell really. Obviously, the songs are only idea form in a minute, but I think we want to kind of go more groovy and kind of a bit more soul based in bits and
Listen to ourselves a bit more, kind of.
just
Without trying to make it non-accessible, but make an album just for us. Not an album that like, oh, it's going to be a hit or this or that or single or radio or whatever. You just got, you know, we're lucky enough to be doing this anyway and to be kind of semi-surviving. So just make something that you believe in.
No, fantastic.
That's all you can do.
Good luck for the future. 3 songs for somebody that hasn't heard Treetop Flyers yet, Music News Watchers, that sum you up. What 3 would you say?
I'd say Things Will Change, Is It Worth It, and Haunted House. That's quite a broad spectrum of the whole thing.
Fantastic. Anything else to say to Music News Watchers?
Buy our CD, please.
If you sign them like that, all of them, my
That's
God,
pretty
they'll
good.
fly off the shelves. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank
We're
you.
looking forward to the gig. Thanks,
Cheers.
sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Should we do
It's,
some-
You're going to get skanked.
You're
You're going to get us on stage.
You do anything
That was a bad move.
You
Thanks,
and
man. Thank you very
your
much. Thanks. Really, I'm really looking forward to it.
Just created a pretty sweet little tagline.
How about that?